Why, hello there everyone. I'm Laxow, aka the Kumo Sensei. Minasan, konbanwa, good evening or good afternoon. And today I'm going to be showing a bit of some molt updates for my Poecilotheria Ornatas and also some Balfouri Communal rehousing. So let's get straight into this. So let's talk about these Poecilotheria Ornata females that I'm showing right now. 3 females have molted out and they are mature, and I will breed these 3 females, but I'm not going to breed these on video because it's going to take an extremely long time and I only have 1 male to spare, so I don't want to wait overnight because in my experience when it comes to breeding Poecilotherias, they can take a very long time to actually pair up. So this is something I'm going to do behind the scenes, but I will update if something happens. Now I could use more Poecilotheria Ornata mature males, but I only have 1, so I gotta be careful that he doesn't get eaten, but I'm pretty good at what I do because I'm a tarantula breeder, so I'm pretty sure that the male should come out alive for all of these females, which is why I'm actually looking for more males of the species, so that way I can diversify my bloodline so it doesn't become inbred. So I'm still looking for more males, so if you know where I can get another one, please let me know. So just to clarify for those who are wondering, these females all molted out about a week and a half to 2 weeks ago, so I've kind of let the molt stay in here a bit too long, which is why I'm trying to feed them to see if they're hungry, but none of them were hungry, so if you're thinking I'm feeding these guys while they're freshly molted out, they're not. These molted out a week and a half to 2 weeks ago, just for clarification, so don't take this out of context, because when it comes to freshly molted tarantulas, you do not want to feed them, because any tarantulas that's freshly molted out, their fangs are still soft and actually needs time to harden up. Sometimes it can take a while for them to come back onto food, sometimes a week, sometimes a month, sometimes even longer depending on the tarantula itself. So that is my clarification, so don't take it out of context. But anyhow though, one thing that I find very interesting is that I get comments and emails from people from all around the world. And this is something that very much interests me because one of my goals in the future is actually being able to import and export tarantulas if possible. And that goal or that dream is very, very far from where we are now. We still have a long way to go. So one of my future goals is to actually make connections to other tarantula breeders, other people who goes out to catch tarantulas and whatnot out in the Asian countries, because for those who don't know, which is pretty obvious by now, is that I'm Asian. So I would really like to actually meet up with other Asian tarantula breeders from other Asian countries, such as Thailand, Vietnam, Korea, Japan, etc., and build a network and connections to other tarantula breeders from those countries, so that way in the far, far, far future, so that way whenever I do get a facility, if that ever does happen, I can ship tarantulas out to those other tarantula breeders around those Asian countries and share my tarantulas with the rest of you viewers. But that is a very far pipe dream as of now, but you viewers are actually supporting my dream one step at a time, and I really do hope that you viewers actually share my videos with other people, so that way other people around the world and other viewers can actually support my dream. But yeah, it's all one step at a time. And I think this gets overlooked all the time, but one powerful weapon to any tarantula breeder is actually speaking multiple languages. I've seen the power of people speaking other languages when it comes to exporting and importing. It really cuts out the middleman, and also it helps build an establishment much more easier in terms of communication. If you can speak another language, you've pretty much have an upper hand over everyone else. So in the future though, I would like to see what I can do in Thailand, Laos, and Vietnam for starters in the future once I start reaching out to other countries, and just to see what I can do, but no promises. Like I stated, it's a pipe dream as of now, but we can dream, right? Now coming back into topic though, I am breeding tarantulas behind the scenes, and the reason why I can't record it is really just because I don't have time, because my personal life is kind of all over the place right now, but I'll make an update video if something does happen, so stay tuned. And now onto rehousing these little Balfouri Communal. So this communal has about 7 specimens in it, and honestly this was an easier rehouse than I expected. So if you know me, I'm not a big fan of rehousing tarantulas because I'm a tarantula breeder, and honestly when you have to rehouse a bunch of slings and egg-sacs you produce, it really does become time consuming, and I'm also not a big fan of cleaning out old enclosures whenever I rehouse a tarantula into a new enclosure. Really, it's a tedious process to me as a tarantula breeder, but I know that some people do like rehousing tarantulas. I personally don't, so I really just make it as easy as possible just to save time and effort as well. So I'm very lucky today that I'm rehousing in Balfouri. And the reason why I say lucky is because any tarantula that's a heavy webbing species, usually I just pull out the entire webbing out of the enclosure and just place it into the new enclosure. When it comes to small tarantulas like these that like to web all around their enclosure, it just makes my job easier. And I know there are some people out there that like to actually catch their specimen, then place them to a new enclosure, which honestly I do that as well when it comes to your typical terrestrial, arboreal, etc. But when it comes to the heavy webbing species, I just like to pull out the entire webbing and just place it into the new enclosure. It just saves time, especially if you're a tarantula breeder. And I think one great example is with the Neoholothilia insei, and I actually made a video of rehousing those little slings. I'll leave it in the top right, so go check it out. But overall though, when it comes to designing enclosures, rehousing, etc., us tarantula breeders really just keep it as simple as possible. But for the most part though, I don't really keep my Balfouris communal. As a matter of fact, I'd say the majority of my Balfouris are pretty much kept individually in their own enclosures. This is just so I can actually monitor their growth, their eating, their habits and whatnot, and raise them up as future breeders. Which this just makes it easier for us tarantula breeders to actually monitor each individual specimen. But anyhow though, I guess I'll call this a video. So, as always, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I upload every single Tuesday and Friday here on this channel, and also support me on my social medias such as my IG and Patreon. Shout out to my Patreon members such as Kale for keeping my tarantulas fed, and with that, stay lax and Laxow out from the Kumo Sensei.